Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts, we're driving my absolute favorite performance SUV. This is the 2024 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. It's powered by a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8, making 650 horsepower and 626 pound-feet of torque, powering all 4 wheels through an 8-speed automatic gearbox. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's what also powers, say, the Lamborghini Urus or the Bentley Bentayga. But for whatever reason, Porsche allowed this Turbo GT to set a lot of records, because this thing will do 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. It holds Nürburgring lap times when it came out. It's fastest to 0 from 60. It's fastest from 0 to 100 to 0. I mean, this thing is an absolute staggering beast of a performance machine, and it weighs 5,000 pounds. You get this great center exhaust in the rear, and it's very cool because you get this blue section right here. It's matching the paint, and this gorgeous carbon diffuser underneath. It's lowered right now because it's sitting in Sport Plus mode, and there's a whole bunch of little aero bits to it, but my favorite piece is this right here, these little end plates on that rear deck spoiler here. The roof, for lightweight, it's 5,000 pounds, that's carbon fiber, and the shape of this roof is of note because that's something that you usually only get on pretty extreme GT cars from the brand. The mirror caps are also carbon, and we love these motorsport gold, or at least that's what I call them, because that's the same color as the wheels I just bought for my Honda, although they're not from Porsche, they are from Apex. Definitely a different price bracket. The front end is menacing, lots of room for air to make it through. And like I said, it stops on a dime, so you've got 10 piston front calipers with these carbon ceramic brakes. It's on 22-inch wheels, 285 sections in the front, 315s in the rear. But despite all of its insane performance characteristics, it's really nice. It's really comfortable. It's actually really easy to drive. We'll talk about price in a second. I'm going to let you enjoy this before I say that number. Inside, you've got the little gold here with the carbon fiber, and there's some gold within that carbon weave, and then room for 4 people. So kind of like the Civic Type R, if we're going to make bizarre analogies. There's no center seat there. There are TVs in the back. I assume these are some optional fun thing because you don't need them. And then right here, you've got room for a couple cup holders. Rear HVAC controls. It's a car, it's a Cayenne, but you'll notice there's no sunroof because of the carbon roof, but that's all Alcantara. Will not be touching that. You don't want to get your greasy hands all over the Alcantara. And this one has the $720 option for soft closed doors. They're actually the easiest doors to close, so you don't need them. In the back, this is the Sportback version of the Cayenne, so you do limit your space a little bit. It's funny how this became a thing, because I feel like the BMW X6 was the first to play the SUV coupe game, or SUV coupe, depending on where you're from. And yeah, it's limiting, but I think it makes sense with the Turbo GT because this is a real performance-oriented thing, so shaving a little bit here and there makes sense. It doesn't need to look like an off-roader, because Cayennes are pretty capable all around. Before we jump in and go for a drive, let me just show you under the hood. And this is a pretty familiar thing. We're used to this V8, but we're just not used to it being this incredible. So under here, you don't see much. You just get your Porsche cladded plastic and the V8, and there you go. That's the deal. So let's start it up, listen to this exhaust, and take it for a ride. To start our Turbo GT, I've got the key in my pocket. There's an extra one right here. This one is actually, they're both in the same color, this Algarve blue metallic. I think I'm saying that right. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you will. And then we can use our push to start button over here on the left. Glass display would be really cool if that was a tack, but no such luck. We're in normal mode right now. Go to Sport Plus. It's menacing. This thing is such a beast. It's got rear wheel steering as well. Oh yeah. I love how ergonomic it is to get in this vehicle. Cayennes have great door handles. And it's just such a comfortable, confident vehicle to get into. You almost don't know what you've just sat in. And to some, that might be a problem, but I don't need the fanfare of the interior of a Urus to tell me that I'm in something special. I kind of dig that this is a little bit unassuming until it's insane. To put it in gear is a little strange. These have the same sort of mechanism that you'd find on a 992 911, but it's just positioned in this sort of horizontal space instead of a vertical space. And then down here, all the usual suspects for climate controls and that kind of stuff. Away we go. First things first, let's do a little launch control. Foot on brake, foot on throttle, release brake. That is one of the most intense launches I've ever felt. Honestly, this thing is a complete monster. It is so much fun, and it just essentially did a four-wheel burnout. This is the greatest. It's a little cold, so take that into consideration when we're talking about a little bit of wheel spin, but it still managed to hook itself up pretty darn good. Oh my goodness. Unlike whatever these people are doing over here. Yeah, again, please, like, don't trash the place. But then I go into normal mode, okay? And this is what's amazing about this car, is that it's so easy and comfortable. It absorbs bumps in a way that is just so luxurious. A Range Rover, it is not. A Rolls Royce, it is not. But it doesn't feel like it's capable of Nürburgring lap setting records when you put it in cover mode. You think, oh, this is just like a nice SUV. Bump here, nothing. We've got some sort of vehicle ahead with some flashing lights. We'll be respectful as we approach, likely just DPW doing their best to keep things legit over here. Lovely. It seemingly defies physics. This shouldn't be able to do what it does when you look at it. It doesn't make any sense, and yet here we are. And another thing about it is that it's relatively subdued. A Urus is not. A Urus is shouty and crazy, and it says money and angst and all kinds of things. This just says Cayenne, and then when you let someone experience it, they'll just lose their minds. I mean, there's no gap in traffic you couldn't hit. And this is a traditional torque converter automatic, this 8-speed, not PDK. And I'm telling you, you're not going to miss PDK. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for this to have PDK anyway, considering the Cayenne comes from sort of more off-road chops. You're going to want to lean on that torque converter a little bit and not just slip clutches. But it is so incredible what this transmission is capable of. Sweet bike. I'm still waiting on my tarmac to come in. Always be cool by the cyclists, especially cyclists who run lights in the daytime. You got to respect that, because that's somebody who actually cares. I'm going to let him do his thing first, and then I'll take my right. 4 feet is the law. Got to give them 4 feet. I don't care if you like them or don't like them. Don't kill people. Firm it up in Sport Plus. We go from plush thing that can handle all the bumps to absolute maniac. I mean, the way I can throw this into a corner, it's with the same confidence that I throw my Type R into a corner. And it gets out of the hole so quickly. And like, the best thing about, all right, here's the thing. I know we talk about slow cars can be more fun because you can use them more, but there's something about a really accessible car like this that allows you to kind of get in, get out, and clean it up. Like, I can get in my corner, I can have my acceleration, and I can shut it all down, and I can do it very, very quickly. Whereas, like, in an old school supercar, like a Countach or Diablo or Testarossa, like, there's a lot of follow through that goes into these things. You don't have to follow through in this car. You can, like, get in, get out, and you're done. And that, I swear, is going to keep you from being arrested, because you can be like, hey, I like this corner. You can line it up. You don't have to speed really hard into that corner. You can just gather speed at the last minute, enjoy your corner, exit the corner, and shut it all down. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Well insulated. I can hear the Kenworth, but you know, I'm not being abused by sound in the car. I could spend quite a long time on the highway, so they haven't played that sort of Carrera T or RS game where they remove all insulation. It's still a really comfortable thing. Maybe it's a little louder than a standard Cayenne or a high-end Cayenne, but I don't know. I'm not noticing anything that would make me wonder if they've removed weight in that way. It makes you want to make a run at like a Hellcat Durango or something. Like, I feel like this is the German version of the fast Mopar cars, but they're like, yeah, it'll also go around a corner like a complete psycho. One of the best things about Porsche carbon ceramic brakes is that there's no compromise in drivability anymore. Early carbon ceramic brakes, typically, they felt a little weird, right? They were just a little funky. They didn't quite add up to the thing you were hoping for day-to-day driving. They needed a little bit of heat. Sport Plus carrying that gear for a long time, but we're going to use that in a minute. But now, these brakes, they just always feel good. So ludicrously fast. And I love that it sends so much power to the rear, like it's a little sideways and under throttle. It's just so good. I'm in love. It's playful and it's approachable. You're never scared of it. She sees the camera. Gave me like the strangest look. It fits in everywhere. You wouldn't be embarrassed to drive this somewhere. You wouldn't feel like you were making a big, silly, ostentatious statement like you would in the Lambo or the Bentley. It's a Cayenne. People have Cayennes, but let's get to the price, right? It starts in 2024 at $196,000. This one's optioned out to $227,000, which is not a small bit of money. I'm not trying to say that. However, it is kind of a deal when you compare it next to its Lamborghini brother, because that, you're into the threes, man. Like, that ain't cheap. This is fiscally responsible in comparison to a Urus. And one of my favorite things about the drivability of this Turbo GT Cayenne is it doesn't egg you on all the time. I love that when I get in this, I get to make choices. It doesn't make them for me. So when I'm cruising around in normal mode, I don't want to go fast through here. There's usually people walking around here and there's stuff happening, and I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm going to wind it out through a gear, shut it down, crawl through, try to withhold my inner insanity as a driver and go through. Like, no, I just get to drive the car. I just get to enjoy it. And when I see the on-ramp, I'm going to turn it up a bit and I'm going to enjoy it. This is the perfect sort of Jekyll and Hyde performance SUV. It just also happens to hold all kinds of great records from when it came out. I work out for tacos. I like that. So, look, does this make any sense? No. But sometimes the things that make the least amount of sense are the most fun. It's cool to have a monster truck. It's cool to have a ridiculously low sports car on a street. It's cool to have a 5,000-pound family SUV that can outperform pretty much everyone you know's supercar. It's awesome. It's so much fun, and I get it. It's $227,000. Normal people say, well, if I was going to spend that kind of money, I would just buy a GT3 or something else. Well, yeah, but you got to remember, the people who bought this already have that. This is not the only car they own. They're just buying a second, third, fourth car, and this fits the bill because they're Porsche enthusiasts, and now their family car also sets Nürburgring record times. So I'm going to put it back into normal mode where it has auto start stop, which is very frustrating. I will turn that off. And I'm going to bring it back to Bond Group and just reflect on how crazy the world is that this is even a technological possibility. Because when I was in high school, SUVs were just Suburbans and Expeditions and Excursions and things of that nature. This was not a thing. Yes, the X5 was starting to get hot and there was some cool versions of it, but they couldn't do anything near what this can do. And if nothing else, the Cayenne Turbo GT is a showcase of look what we can do. Maybe you buy it, maybe you don't, but I'll tell you, I don't understand. Whenever I see a Urus, I'm like, why wouldn't you just buy the Turbo GT? It's so insanely cool, and I think it's the better vehicle, and I think it's less show-offy, which suits my style more, which maybe that's why they buy that Urus. They want it to be yellow and show-off. Totally fine. I get it. There is a vehicle for everybody. So, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I've got a little bit of an adrenaline rush from an SUV. That always is wild. And don't forget to respect the drive. I'll see you in the next one.